Open space in the backcountry could shrink. This week, the San Diego County Planning Commission held hearings on an updated blueprint for future growth in San Diego's rural areas. The plan has been in the works for 11 years, and the Board of Supervisors is scheduled to vote on it next year. But the process will inevitably be met with controversy, as KPBS senior Metro reporter Alison St. John will explain. Welcome, Alison. So why don't you start out first by explaining what does this county general plan do?
Well, it's part of the attempt to figure out where another 1 million people who are expected to come to this county by 2030 are going to live. And at a very personal level, it's how many houses could I build on my property? How many? It's density is what it comes down to.
Okay, what areas of the county are we talking about?
If you look at a map of the county, you know, all the 18 cities are along the coast, and then the backcountry is 2 million acres, of which about a third of that is under the jurisdiction of the county. That includes places like Valley Center, Pine Valley, Alpine, Hamul, Ramona, all those small communities that we see when we drive out into the backcountry, all the way out to Borrego Springs.
And these are the ones we think of as kind of rural countries, with rural areas having a country atmosphere. Right. But if there's a possibility that they're going to change, you know, they'll be totally different, won't they?
Well, that's part of the issue. Is you've got two issues here, really, in the sense that at the moment, the issue of fire protection is becoming more important. We've talked about trying to prevent urban sprawl, but now the issue of how are we going to protect the communities that are way out there and don't have a fire truck within 20 minutes drive of them. Also, water. Groundwater. A lot of the communities out there depend on groundwater, and I heard somebody at yesterday's hearing saying they used to get it when they drilled 300 feet, now they have to go down sometimes 2,000 feet. So they're trying to bring the development back closer into the communities that are around San Diego. Right. But of course those communities don't really want to see a lot of density either. They went to live there because they like the rural feel.
So why are they addressing this now? This seems like it's a long road down the road.
Till 2030, I tell you, Laurie, it's already happening. I mean, there are developers with plans in the works for communities up I-15 for another 30,000 people. Merriam Mountain is just about to go before the supervisors for approval, and there are densities in some of these developers' proposals which are not even included in this general plan. So, you know, the chances are that unless this general plan gets passed, densities are going to pop up in places where planners would really rather not see them.
So it really has teeth in it. Once that general plan is passed, they can actually stop development if it's not part of the general plan?
Well, it lays out the framework, and it's to do with zoning. A lot of zoning would actually change, so it would affect developers, it would affect individual property owners who thought they could subdivide their land perhaps into maybe 70 homes are now being told you can only have 2. So it will make a big difference both at the individual and the developer level.
Whenever you're talking about land use, there's controversy, always. So is there a clear delineation between who's for the change and who's against it?
Well, many of the communities have planning groups, and they've been working really hard on their own particular plans, and those have been incorporated into this general plan. Right now, the county's planning commission, which is made up of 7 appointed people, is going to do some fine-tuning. And of course, at this point, there's a lot of people attempting to get exceptions from these plans. There are developers who'd like to get exceptions. There are individual property owners who are hoping to get exceptions from this plan before it gets through. So I think there'll be a lot of joshing for attention in these last few months, and the Planning Commission will have a hard job coming up with a recommendation for the supervisors.
Right. And meanwhile, the developers are getting active.
We should keep our eyes on that.
Okay, thank you very much, Alison St. John.